So today we're going to talk a little bit about vinyl flooring. A lot of people, or it's also more commonly known as linoleum. This is a product that we find inside residential homes that are older on a regular basis, and it's probably one of the most often overlooked items that tests positive for asbestos. The easiest way to check for vinyl flooring to determine whether or not it does have asbestos is to have it tested by a state licensed asbestos inspector. You can't really tell whether or not it's positive for asbestos just by looking at it. But we do see inside homes, the vinyl inside kitchens and bathrooms particularly, when they do test positive, they typically are 60% asbestos, and so they have a very high content level of asbestos in them. And it is the type of asbestos that is called friable. This means that it is much more prone to become airborne when you remove it, and so it's one of the more heavily regulated materials out there with regards to safety. And so we recommend that prior to any home renovation project where the flooring is going to be torn out, that you test for asbestos just to make sure that you're doing it safely and in the way that won't harm you or your family. Another question that we get with regards to vinyl flooring is a lot of times people wonder if the year of the home determines whether or not they should or shouldn't test it for asbestos. Clearly, if you have a newer home, you are less likely to find that asbestos is inside the material of the vinyl. However, with that said, we have seen homes as recently as 2005 that have tested positive for building materials inside the home. And so if there's any question, we recommend testing. The state says that anytime you're going to remove more than 3 square feet of material, you're required to test as well if you're a contractor. And so if you're concerned about safety, testing is always the safest, best option, just to make sure you don't tear out the asbestos without proper safety in place. So another question that we get on a regular basis every week is, it seems without fail that we'll have somebody who is considering putting can lights into a kitchen or a living room, and they know that they're going to have to drill holes into their ceiling that will accommodate for that can lighting so that they can update their older home with some newer lighting features. If this is on your to-do list as far as projects go, you will want to make sure that you test the insulation inside your attic for asbestos. There was a type of asbestos that was used through the 30s up through about the 70s roughly that is called vermiculite insulation. Vermiculite is a very nasty type of asbestos. It contains what are called tremolite fragments, and they're very jagged pieces of asbestos fibers that get lodged into the lungs easily. And so if you go to install your can lights and you haven't tested, when you cut out that first 6-inch diameter circle to put your can light in, you'll have a bunch of asbestos insulation that could fall right down into your living room or kitchen where you're doing the work. This is what you want to avoid. And so if you have any questions about testing for the vermiculite insulation or about how to properly remove it, feel free to give us a call and we'd be happy to